What's up, gang? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be making a lead sound that sounds like my favorite meme, the SpongeBob floating meme. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. I just love the way this meme makes me feel, and the way people use it online is absolutely hilarious. So let's go ahead and make a lead sound that sounds just like it. So I've prepped some MIDI beforehand. It sounds like this. Very simple stuff. I've got a keyscape here for the keys sound. If you're interested, it is the Duo Stage MIDI Rhodes. And then I've got this flanger, the flanger BL20 from Arturia on it. I've got the Rev Spring 636 from Arturia also on the default preset. And then I've just got an EQ cutting out all the highs. The bass is an Analog Lab bass from this pack that I love. But now we need to make our lead sound on top of this. I've made the melody already. So let's get right into it. I think we're going to stick with wavetables for this sound because I don't want to overcomplicate anything. Let's go to analog, mellow but unstable. Let's go to about 180 for the wavetable position. And then for oscillator B, let's go to analog. Let's use one of the PWM, maybe mini. Turn this all the way up. Now it sounds like this. I want to give a little bit of motion to these wavetables. So let's go to LFO1, change this to Rossier. Let's go to Hertz and set the rate pretty fast, about 47,000 Hertz. And then let's assign the Y-axis to the wavetable position. Then let's go to LFO2 and let's use Lorenz for this one. Assign it to the wavetable position for oscillator B. Let's raise this to about negative 39%. For LFO1, we're going to stick to rate, but for LFO2, just to make it a little bit different, let's go with maybe 1/256. So let's tie that to the BPM. Let's listen to what that sounds like now. So way aggressive. Oscillator B is most of that distortion sounding. So let's lower the level. So we're just blending it in a little bit, and now we can go ahead and shape our envelope. I'm going to make the attack about 15 milliseconds, lower the sustain, and increase the release time, just to make it a bit more natural sounding. And now we can go to our filter. I'm going to select both oscillator A and B, and I don't think we're going to use much of this, so maybe I'm just going to cut out the super highs. Maybe I'll raise the drive a little bit and the fat a little bit. So we're just shaving off those super high frequencies just to make it a little less shrill. And before we forget, let's turn on mono on our portamento to about 20 milliseconds. Great, so that should just about do it for our oscillators and envelope. So now we can start adding our effects because I like the texture of what we've made. So let's go to distortion. Let's use 0 square. I'm going to set this on post and set this and my frequency to about 5K maybe. Now that's quite aggressive, so I'm going to lower the mix, and I might tie the velocity to the mix, set the max value to about 50%, and then I'm just going to shape my velocity curve like this, because I don't want there to be too much distortion. That's sounding pretty good. Let's go for a delay next maybe. Let's try ping pong, and let's set this to 1/8. We'll raise the feedback a little bit, and then now, let's listen to what it sounds like. Sounds pretty good, but we can add some even more variation to this. So I'm going to go sample and hold. I'm going to turn the smoothness all the way up and then assign it to the frequency. I'm going to shift option click to make it go both ways. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on another LFO. Same thing, sample and hold, smoothness all the way up. But for the first LFO, I'm going to lower the speed of it to about 0.7 Hertz. And LFO4, which is going to be tied to the Q, again, option shift click to make it go both ways. I'm going to set the rate again in Hertz, but a little bit faster, maybe 1.7 Hertz. I'm going to lower the frequency just because I want there to be less highs in the delay. So now we have a lot of cool motion. Finally, I'm going to add a reverb. I'm going to go for a hall because we need that luscious reverb. I'm going to raise the mix to about 56%, increase the size a touch, the decay a touch, maybe about 5 seconds. One final thing we can do is go to one of these chaos LFOs, and I'm actually going to map it to the depth of the reverb. I'm going to lower the speed of it a little bit. Let's see what that sounds like. That's beautiful. The more modulation, the better, to be honest, is kind of my motto. Finally, I'm just going to add a compressor, not doing any actual compression, but just raising the level because it's kind of a quiet sound. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a filter for my convenience. I think I'm going to do it maybe post delay. I'm going to change this to MG low 18, and I'm just going to assign this to a macro. I'm going to leave it open for now. One thing that you can do with one of these, with these lead sounds, is just grab a simple triangle LFO like this, and let's map it to our coarse tuning. So I'm going to use the same LFO for both, and then you're going to hear it's going to be a lot. So we're going to lower this immediately to about 2%. Just going to go ahead and type that in. And then we're going to use the wheel over here as an aux source so that the pitch modulation only occurs when I raise the wheel. Now it's good, but it's a little bit slow. So I'm going to raise this to maybe like a 16th note. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to automate that movement in. Great. So without further ado, let's just play the whole thing. I think that sounds pretty awesome. We did well. SpongeBob would be proud, 100%. I have absolutely no doubts about that. So yeah, that'll just about do it for this week's video. Thank you so much for sticking around. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I have a bunch of free resources in the bio. I'm talking Serum 2 presets, my free drum kit, my Prophet 5V guide, if the Prophet synthesizer ever confused you. All those resources are linked down below. Thank you so much for sticking around. As always, I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.